Well, there are some options for filters to use and stuff to try to do that better. Now, see, we're only at 8%, so if we increase up to
100%, yeah.
100%, yeah, that's some,
You can see the pixels.
yeah. You'd expect that, I guess, right? Okay, so the same thing. You can convert it much smaller, right? Percent, and it's smaller. So that's kind of the basics. It's real easy to resize an image. I used to go into GIMP all the time and then struggle with the menus
Yep.
to figure it out, because I swear every time I ran GIMP, they changed the menus. Because I could never find it again. Anyway, so
Pain.
Imagemagick is awesome for that. But that's not all. Let's go do some thumbnails. There's not much more to show here. Other than, like I think Tom was saying, when Tony shrunk his images down to 600 by 800 or 800 by 600, they reduced in size somewhat. Well, if you wanted to make thumbnails, you could do that and reduce them quite a bit. What thumbnail will do is not only shrink it down, I'm saying, here's my geometry, here's how I'm telling how small to make it, and I'll explain that in a minute. But not only is it going to shrink the image down for me, it's going to strip out most of the header information out of the image. You know, when you have an image, is it EXIF headers and stuff in the image?
Yeah.
That sometimes it'll have like your GPS coordinates of where you were when you did it.
For JPEGs, yeah.
For JPEG, okay. It'll have a comment in there about what kind of program created it, or which program created
Or
it.
camera.
Yeah, there might be a lot of stuff in there. When you convert to a thumbnail, it'll strip that stuff out, reducing the size even more. Now, thumbnail is one of the commands that requires a geometry. If we go to thumbnail here, it's right there. It's dash thumbnail space geometry. And geometry is an interesting little bugger. Geometry can have all these different formats. You can say scale, so I can want to make my images, I can say dash thumbnail space 50%, and just make them smaller. I can do X scale and a Y scale, or it's actually scale dash X, scale dash Y, with an X in between.
For the Y.
Right. You can just give a width, or you can just, because the width is the first thing, you can just specify width. The height is the second argument, so if you just give no width and an X and then the height, it'll do your height for you. So I'm basically saying, in my example here, make my thumbnail 90 pixels tall.
Okay.
Okay, 90 pixels height.
Does that keep the ratio for the width then too? Or is it just?
It will keep the aspect ratio correct. So it'll adjust the
Oh.
width to whatever it needs to,
Right.
so that it doesn't be stretched or oblong or
Right.
something like that. Right? You can also specify a specific width and height. So if I wanted to, if I wanted to do keep my width the same as whatever it is, but change my height by half, I could make it all squishy. Right?
Fun house.
And then one of the things that Tony showed, shrinks an image with dimensions larger than the corresponding width and or height arguments. So what Tony was showing was an argument where he had 600 by 800 greater than. It will only resize it, or in this case thumbnail it, if the incoming image is bigger than 600 by 800. If it's not, it won't try to do any transformation on it at all. It'll just pass the file right through, so then you copy the input to the output.
So if it was 420 by something, it wouldn't do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Even if it was 600 by 800, to start with, it would stay 600 by 800.
Okay.
Right. Because this is only if the dimensions are larger than the corresponding width or height arguments, it'll do it. It shrinks an image if the dimensions are larger. Same thing if the dimensions are smaller. You do that, I suppose, if you wanted to grow an image. I guess. Let's see, resize image to have specified area in pixels. That's an interesting one. this thing to be 2 megapixels. You know, figure out from the input what it takes to make it
What
2
you
megapixels.
want, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the area, not the compression or anything else.
Yeah. Okay, and then there's some size offset stuff you can do with geometry too, and that's to offset the image.
When you did that command to find out what the current one was,
Yes.
it showed that with the +0, yeah, the identifier.
Yeah, because there was 0 offset.
Right,
Right.
yeah. So
So while I'm processing, I can actually shrink it and move it within the image, so I could center it better.
Oh. Or move it to the bottom for some reason if you wanted to do that, or.
If you wanted, sure. If you had something in there that made sense to move it to the bottom, if you had whatever the content of the image was, right? So anyway, my input file is 300 by 283. I'm going to do a thumbnail on it. Converts Michigan dash thumb. See that auto complete even knows that. We're going to do 90. And the output is going to be Michigan thumb. Okay, so that's the smaller version.
90,
It's 90 pixels tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, 95 pixels wide, 90 pixels tall.
What did the original one look like?
That's 300 pixels wide by 283
Okay.
pixels tall. So yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, if we wanted to, what did I say that was? Yeah, we could change it to be 200 pixels wide by 100 pixels tall.
Gonna change the aspect ratio, well, it doesn't look like.
Did 106 by 100.
Mm-hmm.
So it kept the.
Oh, it kept the,
right
it didn't do your
aspect.
200, he said it did 106 by 100.
Really?
Just play it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, bottom.
Maybe resize would have done it.
Probably because that's what the aspect, or the ratio is, right, the 300 to basically 280.
Right, still doesn't. It's by height, yeah.
Do you need the
Still
exclamation point?
Maximum, that's maximum values of the width and height aspect ratio.
If you do the bang, it says width and height emphatically given, original aspect ratio is ignored.
Where do you see that?
Right above your cursor, right there, no, down,
One more down.
that, followed by a bang.
Oh, right.
It says do it now, damn it. I want it this way.
Yeah, I know what I want.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah, the problem is the shell.
Oh, it took that as a command.
Yeah, so, what's this?
Backslash,
Yeah. Or in single quotes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. It's like Canada stepped on us.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you can have all kinds of fun with that. That's it for that example. Okay. Buttons. Who creates buttons to put on their websites?
All the time.
Because they don't like the ugly, just plain old HTML buttons.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Or badges. Have you seen in
Yeah,
our,
or badges or anything like that. Right? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to
Paste it.
comment out all the rest of them. Yeah, that's all. Okay. So I'm going to show you the first version of the button. file called EX1. I don't know. So we got a file called EX1. It's a very basic. It's just a red square, right? Not terribly exciting. Doesn't make much of a button. What I did there was I started with a blank image. Let me bring that up again. You can see some blank around the edge, right? I started with a blank image. That's the XC:"none. I said I want to make my fill color red, and I want to draw a rectangle from 1.1. That's the upper left corner. Actually, 0.0 is the upper left corner, right? And 95,31 is the lower right corner, because I set size 96 by 32. So I drew a rectangle just 1 pixel short all the way around. Right? That's pretty much what we had.
The XC said what? Don't copy? Is that?
Sorry?
The XC none?
XC:"none is that's my input image. XC is like a built-in. There's a bunch of built-in images in Imagemagick. There's some goofy ones. There's like unicorns and stuff. Yeah, be careful if you know it. Anyway, I said I want to start with a blank image.
Oh, okay.
Because normally you're operating on an image. I would have to name an image file there, so that's what I did. It's a built-in no image.
Okay.
So anyway, I created a fill color. I set a fill color red. Then I drew a rectangle, and when it draws the rectangle, it fills in whatever your fill color is. And I saved it as exe1.png. Okay. So now we get a little bit better, and we're going to. Now we should have an exe2.
You didn't save it?
Why do I do that every time? I swear I would save it. Just having so much fun, I guess. Okay, so now my image is a little bit better, right?